Hello, today I'm in sunny Snowdonia. I'm just outside of Llanberis. You may just be able to see here Castell Dolbadarn Castle that's in Llanberis and being overlooked right at the foot of the highest mountain in Wales, Yr Wyddfa, Snowdon. So today I'm on an adventure to go and find an abandoned street. I've already had a bit of a walk up quite a steep incline, but it's not over yet because I'm going up there. I've just stopped for a bit of a breather on my way up. Today I'm in the Norweg Quarry, which was opened in 1770 and at its peak was the second largest slate quarry in the world, only second to the nearby Yr Quarry. It employed 3,000 people, it covered 700 acres, and it had a sudden closure in 1969, which meant that when it was abandoned, a lot of the workings and the buildings were just left as is. So as you're exploring the footpaths around the site, you can't help but come across some of these amazing pieces of industrial archaeology. With that in mind, very recently it was designated as a World Heritage Site, the slate landscapes of northwest Wales. So here we are arriving at Anglesey Barracks. Now they're not army barracks and we're not on Anglesey. They're actually houses, a street of houses here that were built for the quarry workers. They're called Anglesey Barracks because generally a lot of quarry workers, especially the less skilled ones, were housed up here because it was too far for them to commute every day. So they'd come up here for the week and generally go home at the weekend. And a lot of the workers came from Anglesey. This block was called Yr Wyddfa, the new town, because it was one of the later ones. It was built in about 1870. Having said that, even though it was one of the new ones, the living standards were very poor. Let's go and have a look inside. Despite these being obvious ruins, I mean, they don't even have roofs anymore, but they are actually in incredible condition, especially compared to some of the other kind of barracks that are around the quarry site. Here we have 2 rows of 12 units each. They would have been really open to the elements, they would have been drafty, there would have been gaps between the slates, but inside today you can actually still get an idea of what those living conditions may have been like. So let's go and have a look inside. Despite these poor conditions, they would have been charged a shilling a month to live here. And the houses themselves aren't very big. There is one room here that would have been the living area with a fireplace. And then we head through a tiny door here, and that takes us into where the bedroom would have been. And these houses generally would have housed 4 men, usually from the same family, but it would have been incredibly cramped. There was no plumbing. There was no lighting apart from the little fire. They would have probably been lit by candlelight or paraffin lamp. And despite the quarry getting electricity installed in 1905, they didn't install it up here. There was no plumbing here, so every day the workers would have had to have carried their water here just to be able to carry out general hygiene and cooking and cleaning. They did have 2 latrine blocks installed at the rear of the barracks, but still wouldn't have been a very nice place to live, really. With that in mind, you think to the end of the barracks, and it was in 1937 they were actually condemned unfit for human habitation, and the site was abandoned. I've done a bit of a loop of a walk today, but actually this steep path here goes down into Padarn Country Park, where there's a large car park, so you'd be able to just walk this. It's quite steep, but short climb up, just if you wanted to visit just the barracks rather than do a longer walk. And you follow part of this kind of corridor that's being created by these dry stone walls that the quarry workers themselves made, and you can just see how skilled they were to make these amazing structures. The paths also zigzag, so right at the end there's kind of a a really sharp turn to the right, and that zigzag makes it slightly easier as you're going up the path. It's not quite as steep as it zigzags up the hill. But also another lovely thing to look out for is every now and again you'll come across a lovely bench that they have built into the walls for a little rest as they're going to and from work or their lodgings around the quarry site. So I've reached my final destination for today. I'm here at the National Slate Museum in Llanberis, and I kind of feel like I'm back in civilization. It's quite hard to believe that just 100 years ago there would have been almost 100 people living in that little street, the barracks up at Anglesey Barracks, Yr Wyddfa. Really fascinating place to visit and well worth the hike up that hill. Also want to say a little shout out to Leonard and Otis. I really hope that you've had a really nice ride on the steam train today around the lake. If you've enjoyed this video, please do like and share it with any groups or friends you think might also be interested. And if you click on the subscribe button, it'll give you a little notification of next time I upload one of my adventures. Thanks, bye bye.